there's a few things that just crept up from people, and one of them was authority and credibility was the other one. That the more you know about the subject, the more credible you are, the more authoritative you are. And therefore, the more you know about something, the better the incentive is. So, the summary I have is, ask yourself how much do you know about the topic you want to speak about. You might be very interested in something, but it could be that you don't know much about it. In that case, is this really a good idea? Or maybe you have to do a lot of research. But ask yourself that question. Do you need to do research on the topic you'll be speaking about? If you're pressed for time, you only have to do that one day to do that speech with the Competent Communicator Manual. You're not going to have a lot of time to do research. So it might be easier to speak on something you already know a lot about, or you can do only easy research on Wikipedia or something like that, rather than just spending time on props of Google, as someone said, spending hours and hours and hours on that. Are you an authority on the subject? If you're already an expert on something, you're a chartered accountant, for example, that makes you qualified to speak about accountancy. Hooray! What a fascinating speech topic, accountancy. We'll talk about that later. But this does matter, which is why some people in Toastmasters speak about what they do at work, what they do in their hobbies, and a lot of time they say because you're an authority on the subject. One day I read something in a self-help book, it was fascinating. There was a guy that said, if you read an hour a day on a topic, after a year you become an expert. But if you keep doing this for 3 or 5 years, you become a word expert, he said. An hour of reading a day on just a topic. Maybe not a word expert, but just think about it. We as humans can actually sponge quite a lot of knowledge by reading just over an hour. And what's an hour of reading? It might be that your commute takes an hour. So bump that knowledge. Now, I love that saying is, the more knowledge you have on a subject, the easier it is to speak on it. It sounds simple, and it sounds obvious. It is in many ways obvious, but the more you know about a subject, the easier it becomes to speak on it. Knowledge is power, as someone said. I don't know who said it, I don't think anyone knows who said it, but knowledge is power. So, the knowledge is your first circle. Your steady emotion and the audience. Start small. It might be that you want to do a speech, say, on the history of the United Kingdom. You're not going to be able to cover all that in 7 minutes. So start with just a small chunk, which is actually easier to learn, much easier to learn. So now let's move on to the emotions. The same process. How important is the emotional aspect when choosing a speech topic? Do you want your speech to have an emotional impact or not? How important are emotions? And what would you look for in terms of emotion when collecting a speech topic? Timekeeper, 5 minutes, please.
Okay.
Starts now. So emotions. The question is, how important emotion be when choosing a topic for a speech? And what would you consider not for you, but for any.